Hello and welcome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining us all. How you going, Lorenzo?
Hey, Campbell, how are you? Nice to be here. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to our live stream Fridays where we're covering Freedom's Calling You, your course or our course for helping us reach our full potential. And today we're doing section 2, number 2, Naked in Wonder.
Wow. And that's naked in wonder. It's not getting
Nah.
naked and wonder what's going on. Naked in
Naked in Wonder.
naked in wonder. Yes. And of course, naked means is to strip back, right? Out there in wonder without the clothes, without the masks is the
Right.
main thing, and maybe without the armor. Who are you when you're naked? There is that it's not really a saying, but it's like if you lost all your stuff, all your bits, all your masks, all your armor, you find to keep going on, because a lot of people, when they lose all this persona, there's nothing underneath,
Right.
and they're sort of defeated. Could you lose everything and keep, what would that do to you? Would you still be you when you're naked in wonder? So yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Being naked in wonder, Lorenzo?
So what we're looking at, as Campbell said, is it's not about standing without your clothes on, although that's fine if that's what you need to do. It's more like, if you've been if you've been following our course, what we're looking to do is to strip back your belief system, is to strip back your expectations, is to strip back your projections, your emotions, and to see what's there. Like, after you've taken a good look at yourself, if you've been following along what we've done, and even if you haven't, it's kind of, you take a look at what you expect from life, what you don't expect. Who are you behind your masks? Who are you behind your personality? What's going on? Why it's going on? And mostly, naked in wonder, I would say, is to be honest with yourself, even to a painful degree, because the more you understand yourself, the more you understand who you are, the better you can move forward from whatever it is you seem to be missing about yourself, all in relation to what you say is missing. Because, as Campbell and I have said many times, this is all up to you. You have to figure yourself out. You have to understand yourself. You have to know yourself. No one can do it for you. And, basically, if you're standing naked, warts and all, you've got all the mirrors around the room and there's nothing you can hide, then, you figure out where you need to exercise, where you need to stand up straight, where you need to eat better. And if you're looking at this energetic aspects of being naked, you see where you need to do some scrubbing.
yeah, and that's the big point, isn't it? Can we take off these masks and look at ourselves, from ourselves? Because we've said it before, if you look at your life through the mask, then obviously you get a distorted picture, right? Like, so the big thing is to just, I guess, be brave enough to trust yourself enough to take responsibility. Have a look at yourself. It's like, I think it was Mr. Brady from the Brady Bunch said, Greg, just remember, wherever you end up, that's where you are. And it's true. And, so many people want to sort of pretend that they're not really where they are. And that's what the mask is. Like, I feel like crap, I have no energy, but look, I just bought a gym membership and, I can't really afford anything. But look, I just went into debt to get this car to, to try and, gain everyone's wonderment, shall we say. And it's all these things. So if you're going to keep putting on masks and armor, and that's just pretending, to not be you, it's putting off the inevitable, really, isn't it? And when you do that, the thing is, you're still you. Nothing changes. So if just say health is your issue, and you're pretending to be healthy and looking good and all this, you're still going to be getting unhealthy when you get home. So it doesn't actually change anything. So yeah, are you brave enough to look at yourself, what's on, and go, look, I stuffed up. Yeah, I bought the advertising. I eat too much junk food. I shouldn't drink this. I shouldn't do that. And the thing is, you can't fix a problem until you know you've got a problem.
Yeah.
So when you can look at it, go, yep, that's a problem, then you can take the mask off and take action.
Yeah. And it really depends on you being honest with yourself. An example I can say of a story is a relative I know here where I'm living who, used to drink beer and sake. and then decided it was unhealthy, and then switched to red wine because the government told her it was a healthy option for being drunk and drinking. And of course, that's an illusion. Yeah, an illusion beyond that. She goes, well, I drink red wine now because it's healthy. And you go, well, of course, they tell you that the grapes or the tannin or whatever, those purple colors, are healthy for you in one way, but it's obvious that the alcohol is still alcohol. It doesn't really matter where it's coming from. So, by not taking off the mask and not looking at your personality and not being honest with yourself, it's kind of what Campbell and I mean here. It's easy to continue to lie about whatever it is you're hiding in your problems, because it's obvious that alcohol is alcohol and hiding is hiding, and you're still wearing, it's amazing how many masks we can put on. I mean, I've taken off 100 to find I have 101 some days, and I'm going, holy baloney, I can't believe I'm still fooling myself in this way or the other way. And it's a tough road, but it's the only road worth walking, I feel.
Yeah, like, this is a thing. We can have many masks, and you've kind of got to go through the layers, right, to take one off, and then you'll see the one below. And a lot of, if you're living through your mask, people, we see them, they live their whole lives and they don't really realize that it's a mask that they're living through, and they're unwilling to ever take that off and have a look at what's underneath, because everyone likes to say ego and all this, but it's really because they're so invested in this persona, and they're scared that if they take it off, that there's nothing underneath, right? Because everything's coming from the outside. You should do this. You're good at this. You're bad at that. And this is how these personas build up. And you go, yes, I'm exactly what you said I am. I'm good at this. I'm bad at this. Look at my mask. But that's not the truth, because you take the mask off and underneath you've got this little kid who just wants to sing, or just wants to, whatever, right? Build or create art. But never got to, because there's a big mask in front of them. So this is the other thing. You live through the mask, you miss out on the best. You miss out on you, and so does the rest of the world.
And so a key here with all of this, and Campbell and I are really not talking about any pie in the sky spiritual nonsense. It's very practical information. And if you see what you're letting in and how you're letting it in, you can understand the information. I mean, if you're coding a computer and your eyes are closed and you're just going all over the keyboard and you don't even know anything, obviously, whatever's coming out is going to be not what you expected. And I would say it's the same with yourself, because one of the questions we asked in this particular part of our course is how do you let information in? Where is your information coming from? How are you deciding things? It's something that most of us don't really even look at. It's like, how did you decide what a woman is? How did you decide what a man is? And I don't mean the silly nonsense about identifying with the opposite gender, which is, the obvious.
Are you a biologist?
It's the obvious insanity of the day. It's more like, you look down when you're naked, what your parts are telling you about your life, but then you watch the TV that says how you should be a man, or, what you read Cosmopolitan, used to be a popular magazine, I don't know these days, How to Be a Woman, and you see what sort of information you're getting, even as to what's possible for your life, right? Campbell and I have talked many times about a job, or growing up, saving money, buying a race car. That's what a man does. And if you figure out that these points of view came not from you, maybe not even from your parents, you can see through your discernment they didn't come from a loving source, right? Obviously the TV doesn't love you, right? Obviously the newspapers don't love you, right? Obviously the sitcoms that I watched growing up, tons of them, or even the cartoons, whatever, don't love you. They're there for a reason, and you could say it's there to make money. I think it's more nefarious than just what they tell you about, the networks programming you to make money. But, it's all in the words, right? Networking, a network to hold you into a net, programming to give you an idea of how to be alive. It programs you, to schedule your life. 2 o'clock you do this, 3 o'clock you do that, 4 o'clock you eat, and 5 o'clock you go to bed, right? And then the next of it, it's all over and you're dead. And what did you do if you didn't, and then what did you do? You go, oh my goodness, life's not the Brady Bunch, even though I used to watch that. And life's not the Waltons, even though I used to watch that. And, it's also, it's also not the Fred Flintstone and the Flintstones. I used to watch that, but it's something, grand and beautiful and imaginative. And, by understanding when I asked the question, how you get your perspectives, how you take in information, if you study that, at the very least, it'll give you a leg up or a foot up or a hands up or maybe your full body up if you're naked, as to when somebody gives you a perspective on what's good, bad, what you should or shouldn't do. To, one thing I always do to confuse my father is I go, where did you get this information? It always stuffs him up, as Australians like to say. He'll say, I heard this and I heard that and this, that, and the other thing, and this is going on. I go, well, who told you that? And invariably it's always the TV, So, that you can take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. I mean, the TV, channels. Of course, it's a cast that make, it's a cast. It's all spelling, yeah. And we're starting to realize this is all these shows that we used to watch, they were fun and they see, from the perspective back then, it was family values and a bit of a laugh and all this kind of stuff. This back in the 80s when there were some kind of values in the box. But the thing is about all those shows, they all have the same thing, right? Like dad always has a job that he has to go to 40 hours a week. Mum always is a certain, stereotype. Like the kids are, at school and they're either the cool kid or they're the geek or the fat kid or what. It's all these, it's programming. It's so that when you come out at the end of that, you think that's what reality is. But you're really the little kid who just wants to draw or wants to design new cars or whatever it is. But you come out thinking, oh, reality is I need to get a job. I need to work 40 hours a week. I need to get married at this age. I need to get a mortgage. I need to get a cool car, not just any car. It needs to be cool. Then I need to do this, that, have my holiday a year, retire, and then I guess I'll wonder about what life is when I'm, on my deathbed. And this is these are the masks. We take all this stuff on and we believe it's true, and it's really just us bending to the will of society. So if anything like me, that'll be enough to make you change, right? I don't like anyone telling me what to do, and this is what they're doing. But subtly, if someone walks up to you and says, "Change, you must do this," everyone, 99% of people are going to go, "F you, dude. Just nah, I'm not changing." But if they plant it in your subconscious over many years, you don't see it happening. So that's what we're trying to talk about, is peeling back these layers of who we think we are, but we're not really. We've sort of lived into these masks and all these ideals, but it's not really us. Who were you when you were that little kid? What got you excited? What did you want to be? I wanted to be the $6 Million Man. I used to run around and jump out of trees.
I love that show. Right?
Yeah. So that's, and then, and for me, I remember I wanted, when I was young, I just wanted to travel and get out there. And my mum talked me out of it. I was going, I was pretty much ready to go and do Camp Americas and all this different stuff. And I let her talk me out of it. It wasn't her. She just, she just spoke. I could sit here blaming her. Oh God, my life's destroyed because I didn't do that camp. But the truth is, it was me. It was me taking on the outside world, going, okay, well, I'll just take that mask on. That my mother knows what's best for me, right? More than I do. That's clearly not the case. So this is the thing. We all take this stuff on, but why? And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Don't want to be on your deathbed going, if only.
No, and I want to talk about discernment a little more on a practical level, and that it helps you to understand your choices if you look to the bottom of things. Like when, let's say, I go shopping these days and they still have wear your masks on all the stores here in Japan. And, you have to wear your mask, you have to do this. And I'm about to put it on, or I feel bad for a second. I go, wait a minute, why is the store that sells me my packaged meat trying to give me health advice? Right? Like, who are these people that own this particular place, and why is that mask even there? Or why is that sign even there? Like, what's going on, and why are these people giving me funny looks, let's say, in the store, and why are they even wearing their masks, right? And you say, well, they're doing it to make money, and the store's doing it to make money, and it's a corporation that gets their tax breaks, because if they're huge chains, and, they are probably told to put these signs up for whatever reasons, and then you look at it, you go, oh, okay, a soulless, corporate, dead entity, no matter what's going on between your ears, it says you should be afraid, or you should wear it, or it's health. You see the source of the information, and then you look at the source peacefully, and once again, I would say you weigh it. Does this source love me? You can ask that, strictly from anything. Even Campbell, let's say, didn't go to his camp because his mom loved him. I mean, maybe it was a misguided loving advice. I had plenty of that from my parents, no doubt. But still, in some ways, that tricks you a little bit, because you go, well, it's my mom, she must love me, so I'll take her advice. I mean, all little kids fall into that trap until they grow up and decide maybe what your parents are sharing didn't come from their heart. That's how we get tricked, right? We figure it's our parents and we think they're only sharing loving advice, but where did Campbell's mother get her advice from? I mean, I ask that now, where did my father get his advice from? Where did his father get it? Eventually it comes down to you're going, well, that's not loving. Why would I listen if it's not?
And it's not that it's not loving. It's just that they're talking through a mask, just like we're living through masks, right? So the mask is, I don't want to see my son hurt or lost. I've heard all these stories of travelers go overseas and they disappear and never come back, and this is the best thing. But I mean, that thought is clearly predicated off things that she has not experienced herself. It's all secondhand information from the telly. So it's not. So I changed my life and made decisions based on things that didn't exist. This is what it comes down to, and this is what we're trying to say: is we live these lives, based on nothing, based on all this information that is really just an opinion that was taken on from an opinion that was taken on from an opinion. And like Lorenzo said, where does this information come from? You ask most people, and they don't know. Someone told me, oh, I don't know, I just heard it. Oh, well, just these dumb answers, right? No one can
always.
Well, I had this experience. I've done this research. It's just, but it's always the truth, isn't it? It's always the truth, but they have no idea where it came from or what its relevant is. But it's the truth, because my mask says it's the truth. Because my mask says that experts on the TV have my best interest at heart, and so I must parrot what they say, and that's me loving you. And this is what happens, right? So we have all these people with masks running around pretending that they're not who they are and live lives that they don't want to live based on what they think other people want them to be, which is false. So it's just crazy.
And
so
I
really
see...
just strip off. Roll it on the ground, naked in wonder.
Yeah, I see Bernie's here, which is interesting. He may come and he said at the last 5 minutes, wants to live bomb us, so to speak. But something I brought up with him, which I'll bring up with everybody, which is interesting, is we get all this information about technology, and we get information about religion being funny, and we get information about politicians being full of poo-poo, and banks tricking you, and all of these monetary things, and then. I would say it's important to sit down then and see who are you right now, to decide what kind of a person you want to be, to decide what kind of a life you want, to decide what you're going to do with all this information and how you're going to take it to the next level, in how you're going to take yourself to the next level, right? Like if you're going to be just say a companion of traveling, let's say, like you like watching a lot of these and you're entertained by them, and you just want to be a passenger. That was the word I was looking for. And you're being driven around, and you're just like, you're enjoying the scenery, and Campbell takes you to new scenery, or being here takes you to new scenery, or being with Bernie, let's say, takes you to new scenery. That's all right, but at least be honest that you're not wanting to change. You're just kind of wanting to go to a different movie. Right? You don't like the movies they're showing you on TV. Maybe you like the movie Campbell's bringing you. Maybe you like the movie, watching my shows are bringing you. Maybe you like the movie someone, and YouTube in some ways is a beautiful trick, because, you get all of these content providers, and I'm one of them in some ways, and con being a trick, as we all know, a con to contain you. And if that's all you're doing is watching, you're just being contained in a different way. From the silent movies to the talkies to the movies, which, to the TV show, to the programming like Netflix, where you can do everything. And this is even one step beyond, if you think about it, because then it's everybody conning everybody, because, you can have all these different channels. And so there's all these different perspectives of people of what's true and what's not. It's kind of like that crazy balloon thing that I saw, the Chinese UFO balloon, and suddenly everyone and their mother's talking about Chinese UFO balloons, and it's all over, and all of the providers are sharing it, and you're going, and nobody really knows what's going on, right? Because if you're like me, you got the information from somewhere on the internet. Someone said something about something. Someone else said something about something. I don't know anybody, maybe I'm wrong, that saw these balloons land on their head or where they landed, Canada, USA, China. Nobody knows any of this stuff. I mean, it'd be very easy for the AI, which I still think is just the all-seeing eye, and it's not really artificial. That's just my take on it. Could be going, hey, everyone, look, there's a balloon. Let's see what these guys do with this now.
Yeah.
Right? And then everyone distracts themselves for a week or two.
Exactly.
And everyone's still sitting on their couch, and nobody's growing up because maybe you don't know who you are and why you're looking at this information and what you're doing next with whatever's coming your way.
And it's like, yeah, why does it matter?
Yeah.
Why do people think that it's, you have to retweet all this stuff? And of course there's he who I haven't talked about it, but yeah, it was to point out that we don't know what's going on. I even showed a picture of it that was like, had a big glitch mark through the middle of it that looked like it was just AI generated. It's just, so we don't know if that was there or not. We don't know if anything on our screens is real anymore. We've seen the AI. We've seen, I don't know if you saw, someone even released an OnlyFans, if you know what that is, not only cams, but and there were AI models in there, and no one could tell the difference. All these guys were there giving them money to these pixels, right? So this is the thing. And when they make us look, when they look, it's like what's the other hand doing? It's like, look over there, but what's the other hand doing? This is distraction, and everyone's still jumping on because they're all looking at the outside world. This is all outside, stimulus that's being pumped into us to just keep us from looking inside, because they stopped everyone working. Everyone went, hang on, what's going on here? This is life. I'm alive. Why am I going to work 40 hours a week? Hang on. I haven't worked for 3 months. I'm still alive. Maybe what they're telling me is crap. People start thinking. So then boom, 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 boom. They have to make us think what they want us to think. So all this stuff, it's just, would it matter if we just all went out and lived on a farm in the forest somewhere? Would any of this matter or affect us at all? It wouldn't. No.
I mean, maybe the jib jab is poison. Maybe it's reprogramming people. Maybe people are dying of heart attacks. Maybe they're not. Maybe none of this. I don't know anybody. And I'm sure someone's going to say, I know someone that had this problem and it's related to this. Maybe. How do you know? Right? It's like if a doctor told you so, right away it's suspect in my, expectations of what I've seen. So somebody got sick and somebody died, or somebody was in the hospital and somebody died, let's say, or someone got sick and then this happened. We have no idea really what's going on until you look at their entire life. Maybe they ate crap their whole life and their body just said that's enough of that. And maybe they stressed themselves, and so, their guts decided that there's too much stress in their life, so they keeled over for that reason. What I'm really getting at is we don't know anything about anything other than about ourselves. And if you know about yourself, and you know about, we don't know if you're real, Cam Lorenzo. It's true. Sage said that. No, you don't know. It's true. I might be, but that's the point, is we're saying, don't even listen to us. Figure yourself out. Figure out what's going on for you.
Tune out now.
Tune out now. Yeah. If you're getting weird feelings from us, you should leave, right? Who knows anything, right? And it's really just about, figuring it. Once you figure out your masks and you figure out your personality and you figure out your discernment, then you can move forward with figuring out yourself, how you were wrong, so you can see how to be right.
And I think it's a good point. Are we real? Are we not? Is anything real? Is anything not? And the point is that that's all external, right? Like, so why are we getting so triggered? Why are we getting so emotionally attached to all this stuff that may not even be real? It's like I was talking about before, that, with my mum and all these perceived fears that she then put into me, none of it was real. But now we have all the, we're all doing these things based on what? Like we listen to these gurus and they tell you, oh my God, the world's going to blow up and this and World War III and rah. You don't even know if that's person's real. We don't even know if, the WW3, if anything's happened there at all, apart from some, gay dude took over a country. That's all I know. So why get tripped? Why not go inside and go, well, this is what I've experienced. This is my perspective. This is what I want to achieve. This is where I want to go, and work from there. Work from the inside out. What's that saying? If you don't go within, you'll go without.
And I would say the bottom line in this is there's so much energy being put in keeping you from going inside. Look over here, no, look over there, no, look over here, no, look over there. And I've heard it's all bullshit, going back hundreds of years, World War I, World War II, who was the enemy, who was a good person, who was the bad person. As they say, look at, the South Pole, and everyone works together. All the governments, supposedly have an agreement in that one area, and nobody's fighting. So, that should tell you everything you need to know about the fact that they're fighting, which they're not, right? None of them are. Anybody that's in power anywhere is probably working with someone else, and they all play games. They're all actors. They all play roles. Who knows? If any of the presidents are real, which I doubt, or any of the ideas are real, which I doubt. I mean, we've all been fooled by movies. We've all been fooled by TV shows. We've all been fooled by 30-second commercials. So imagine these people with unlimited potential and unlimited resources and access to all of the media sources. It'd be so easy to put out a president of one country to say 62 things, and you hate them. Oh, I hate the president of New Zealand. I'm so happy she's gone. Or the prime minister of Canada. What an ass. These guys know they're being this way. You can tell they're playing a role. Nobody's that stupid on purpose, right? Nobody really doesn't care about their society or their people on purpose. Nobody's that dumb, really, unless the people believe that they are. And to me, then, because, you can see that these are like, we all hate the villains, right? When we see them in the James Bond movies, as an example, or the Arnold Schwarzenegger, these guys are great actors. They make you hate them. And then you see them in real life, like William Dafoe's an example. You hated him and he was creepy in all the movies you see, and you see him, he's actually a 5'4" jolly little guy, right? And they make him look like a huge, he's a short guy, right? And they make him look like this hulking, tall monster in all his shots, right?
He looks this cold sort of dude, yeah.
And then you watch the movies again and you see, every time he's on the screen, you only see his face. Every time he's on the screen, there's a close-up of him. So you don't get to see, and that's just a movie. If somebody with a big budget is showing you this one guy who happens to be able to put on a scary face up close, and he's not like that at all in person. So, you can roll with that, and this is what I mean by discernment, and take it forward and see for yourself that probably everything you see that's not somebody loving you, standing beside you, where you can feel their feelings, even if it's not on purpose, going back to Campbell's mother and my mother, because they're doing it for love, is probably in some way sharing an illusion with you.
And a good point is, what illusions are we sharing, especially with our children, if you have them? Are we passing on our fears, right, from our parents, passing them down the line, right? Because that's something that we need to stop. All this, and this is the thing, it's just a mask. And you see it so often, these fears and things that aren't real just get passed down through the generations, and people live these lives that aren't very fulfilling because of things that aren't real. It's very weird. So, and this is the main thing as well, is, with all this, you've got to bring it back to yourself. If you're someone who's like pointing the finger going, yeah, I can see that in my partner, they're definitely like this, and that person's like, you've missed the point. You need to be standing in front of a mirror if you're going to start pointing your finger. This is all about you. Okay, it's because as soon as it's someone else, it's outside of you. You've lost. You're dealing with things that you can't prove. That's someone else's perspective. It's someone, it's not you. So always, if you find yourself, notice that you're someone who's always like, it's them. How dare they? That president, how dare they? Oh my God, why are they doing this? How dare they restrict me? Stop and just understand that it's all you. It's you complying that does that. It's you giving it energy. It's you putting your time and effort into that rather than into something that would make you happy. That's really the real problem.
Been watching some of the comments come through. Maybe we can start throwing some of them up on the screen, Campbell. But what if we move to the woods? No worries. Doesn't make a difference if we move to the woods. You are who you are. So if you move to the woods and you're still not nice to yourself, you won't be nice to yourself in the community. So it really, change starts at home. And, I also saw another comment about people dropping in New Zealand because of the jibby jab, so to speak. We really, there's a million ways people could be passing along, right? 5G, 4G, poison food, poison air. I smell the water coming out of the tap here some days, and I won't go near a shower for a few days until that stink passes. Or, I'll go walking and the air will smell like horrible chemicals from whatever they're spraying. So who knows why people are passing along, right? Why people are dropping, why people, they tell you it's a jibby jab, but do you know? Literally, do you know all these people? Do you walk in? Did you see them? Did you see them take it? Do you see them dead? Did you cut their bodies open and take a look? And I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying, really, we don't know.
We don't. No, we just don't know. So, so basically what that means is you shouldn't let it affect your life. That's right. All we're saying.
Aha.
Don't know it. Yeah. And literally, all these, died suddenly. We just don't know, right? Like, that could all be fake. And we have to be able to ask that question and go there. Otherwise, we're just looking through a mask of, oh my God, look what they're doing. It's Bill and the Depopper. And can I say that word? Elation. And this is the thing. And the more we focus on that, the more it's going to affect us. So we can just choose to not give it any power at all, any of our focus. And as far as actors, I was going to say, if you read Parliament, if you go read the Parliament sittings and that, they call them actors. They literally call them actors in the paperwork. So this actor stood up and said, so that they admit it, right? They're just all actors.
Yeah, I saw a job website that had that. It's like the President of the United States, acting since 2022. He's a businessman. I looked at one for Trump, and it literally tells you, if you look around, you can literally find what's really good. Congress in the States, the word con is in it, right? Oh my goodness. I mean, if that doesn't tell you the truth about it all, it's interesting.
Not progress.
Yeah.
It's Congress,
right? Which is a con. So maybe the beauty in all this is you are an infinite being with infinite potential that can do infinitely anything, and you're just allowing that infinite potential to be turned back towards whatever they're telling you. You turn it towards, oh my goodness, this is good. Oh my goodness, this is bad. Oh my goodness, there's more taxes. Oh my goodness, they're at war with Yugoslavia now. Lorenzo's way too loud. I guess I could turn my volume down. Someone's saying I didn't know. Maybe it is loud.
Oh.
Anyways, I'll turn it down a little bit. Sorry about that. Or maybe it's just me getting all excited. I can stand back from my speaker. Last time I thought Campbell wasn't clear, and then I had 100 people write me angrily afterwards, and I apologize to all of you saying Campbell was clear the whole time. And I'm going, okay, it wasn't clear for me. So I guess, So I guess it depends on where you're placing your... It's the same thing, isn't it? For a while, I thought Campbell wasn't clear, and you knew he was clear, right? I don't sound too loud to me, but to some people I sound too loud. It's really interesting, It goes back to what we've said. It really is all perspective on where you are, even what settings you have on your computer that's telling you how things are going on top of that all.
Yes, indeed. So there we go. So is Bernie still out there? If you want to jump on quickly, Bernie, if you've got a little piece of wisdom to impart, here's your chance. You've got a few minutes.
Here's your chance.
So I'm just going through, having a look at some of these questions. So what does everyone think? I mean, and literally, we sort of sound a bit like a broken record. This is all about, you don't have to take responsibility for your life. You can give that to someone else. And people think that's easy because things go wrong. You can point the finger and go, whoa, it's their fault. But they forget to realize that they're the ones living the life. They're the ones going through that experience. It's great. You can point finger, but that doesn't change your life. If someone else has broken your life is still broken. And that's the point.
Yeah.
Is that it's up to you. You're the only one that can unbreak it. You're the only one that can change your thoughts, which change your actions. You're the only one that can make any kind of difference in your life. No one else can. And people say, what do you mean? The police can get me and lock me in jail. Well, there's people who have been through that process and not got locked in jail. So it's not a truth. Unless you believe it, all these things are just excuses. It's like that song, right? I like big butts. Well, we don't like big butts. We don't, because your butt will stop you. So you need to get off your butt because it will hold you back. The big butts are not good.
And I see a comment, everything is predestined, which I say is BS. Nothing's predestined. Nothing at all. I see my life, and it goes and it comes, and it's whatever it happens to be. And so, it really is just the way things are and how you act. If it's predestined, what's the point in being here, right? What's the point in all of these things? It really makes no sense to me to feel that everything is predestined. You might as well go back to bed. Here, I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit. I hope that's all right for people. Maybe that'll help out. And even though Bernie says he likes me loud, so to speak, I like it loud. And What's the point? Why are you even here if everything's predestined, right? It's like I even see in my day, I'll be feeling miserable and I'll have miserable experiences, and then I'll change, and then people will be smiling at me instead of frowning at me. So it's just really me, that's being reflected by the world around me, and that, in my estimation of life, is the most beautiful thing in the world, is that you can change everything by changing yourself.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, from my experience and my perspective of 50 years down in this crazy place, we do. People do create their reality. That's what I've seen. I've seen people who will spend so much time telling me why they can't do anything, and guess what? In 10 years, 20 years, they still haven't done anything. And then you meet people who are like, I'm going to do this, and they put in the action, and they go out and live these amazing lives. And we see it all over the place. And some people say, oh, well, yeah, it's just Hollywood, and oh my God, they just put up there. But that's a little, but I'm talking about the people in the middle that you never hear about, that are out there just having their lives. They're not trying to be a guru. They're not trying to do all this stuff. They're just living their best life. And that's what we can all do. And so we have a Bernie in the background.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit as Bernie comes in about the Mandela effect. I think the Mandela effect in this realm just shows you how malleable things can be. Really, it's like what is truth 10 years ago is not truth today, and that's how much you can change yourself as well. Because even if they can change
it is interesting point.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say that when everyone is suddenly not at work and they're all thinking these different thoughts, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Suddenly we get Mandela effect, right?
But to me, that's beautiful. People were freaking out about it, going,
that, yeah.
You're just seeing that reality is not so solid. You're not that solid, and everything can change as you change. It's very fluid, and to me, that's a beautiful thing. Hey, Bernie.
Hello, and what a beautiful background you guys have today, and awesome topic that it's about being honest with yourself. You have to see yourself for yourself, and if you're lying to yourself, how the heck do you expect to be honest with anything or see anything for what it is? And that in order to do these higher level, like astral projections or connecting to the outside realm and the higher universe, you first have to be honest with one's own self and make peace within yourself in order to then be able to connect and just see the truth of the universe.
I mean, isn't it amazing that even Bernie's here sharing this with us and you guys right now? We didn't plan it. We didn't ask him to come on. Bernie didn't even know our topic today. And yet, Campbell and I are creating this vibrational space of sharing pretty much what Bernie just said, in a different way, but he said it very well. And, I got 87 thumbs up to what he just said to everyone out there. And it just happened. And we didn't know, but we just created it. And then more came our way. Bernie came our way. More people are sharing with us. Who knows who else is out there that's going to come next? And it's a matter of standing in your power, as Bernie said. You want those beautiful things behind Bernie. You want the beautiful, energetic behind Campbell. You want to govern yourself. You have to know yourself. That's really where it begins and ends.
The law of attraction, right? And it's like, this is a prime example. The synchronicities just pop in. You guys attracted it. Here I am to add that last little bit in, but vice versa. If you're lying to yourself, if you're being negative, down, and shady, well, that's what you're also going to attract to yourself is more shade, more lies, more dishonesty. And it's always starts with addressing yourself, seeing yourself for what you are, and then building up the foundations from there.
Really? It's you're bang on, Bernie.
Yeah, I'd say your mind will always prove you right. That's its job. That's what the Raz is all about. That it wants to prove you right. So it's like Bernie said, if you walk around going the world's crappy, it's full of scammers and everyone's just out to get me, well, that's exactly what you will experience, because your mind will put you in those situations to make you right. So the main thing really is just decide what you want, right? Decide what you want and stick to it, and don't let the outside world come in and take you off your path. And that's what the world will be shown to you. Your mind will show you what you expect to see.
It's crazy.
That's the biggest thing, right? And yeah, and you really can't decide what you want if it's literal mask. So rip it off.
Literally, I'll walk around feeling everyone's getting more rude here, where I'm living, and I'll meet rude people. And then I'll come home, I'll meditate, and I literally step out my front door after I change my mind. And the first person will say, "Hey, how's it going? Beautiful day." To me, 5 seconds later, as soon as I decided, what am I, crazy? Thinking everyone's rude and everyone's mean now and everyone's upset. Of course, that's all I'm seeing when I walk around are those faces. But as soon as I go, I'm loving, the world's loving, who knows what's next? Right away, you meet 3 polite people or 3 loving people. Like it happens, like it jumps in your, like they actually shocked me. I was like stepping out my door and the person beside me said, konnichiwa, good day to you. And I'm going, holy shit, it's a nice person as soon as I change my feelings. So, and that's just on a tiny level of expecting people to be nice.
It always happens in threes too, right?
It's weird, but it's true.
Yes.
It's the law of universal attraction. And I'm very stoked that you guys are doing this series. And out of all the series, that people could be selling and working and whatnot, it's what you guys are doing is what needs to be done is helping people find themselves to be able to then be happy and build a good life forward. And that's as commendable as you really can get. I love it.
And I think what Bernie said is thank you, Bernie. Yeah. Is coming in threes. That's to help us get over our own illusions. I found, because if something happens once, you can't be sure it's true. Something happens twice, it could even be a coincidence, because they happen all the time. If something happens 3 times, I've seen it's the world talking to you, right? Because then it's like one. That's the universe speaking.
2, and clap you on the 3rd. This is reality. It's what you think of it.
It's like 1, 2, 3. You go, holy shit! Like when too bad.
Into the 3rd.
Yeah.
If you don't pay attention to the 3rd, you might get hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Now you will listen.
Your guys' topic of being naked in front of the mirror and stripping it down, is that why so many people have the dreams where they appear naked? Because it's like you have to get down to those basics, and it's your subconscious talking to you. Hey, this is is you at your place. If you can't handle yourself in your birthday suit, what else is there?
Yeah, because they're normally uncomfortable dreams, and what that is that's telling you that you're uncomfortable being seen for who you are.
Yep, I've had those dreams. I think everyone's had that dream where you wake up naked in a public place and you're freaking out or feeling weird, and it's just, now it's amazing. I've called to my life my experiences of literally having to stand naked in a crowd, which maybe we'll talk about another time. I don't know how much time we have here, but When I lived in a community, they had a fashion show for a hemp product, and they said, "Hey, why don't we at the end strip off?" Right? And I was a chef at the time, and I had to go out with a lady with just an apron in the front and nothing in the back, and so hard for me at first, right? And even at the end of the show, the guy surprised everyone by going, "We wear these clothes or nothing at all." It was on a hippie commune kind of at the time back in the day, 20 years ago, and so then everyone took their clothes off. Right. And said, because we're wearing nothing at all. And there was like 12, 20 people on stage. And, and at first you're freaked out, or I was, but eventually you're going, oh, they're nice looking there. They're funny looking there. They're nice looking there. They're funny looking there. Everyone's the same. Everyone has nice bits and funny bits. And that's the way life goes.
Because it became familiar. As soon as you rip it off, it's like weird. It's different. But then hang on, it's familiar because everyone else is doing it.
And you don't care anymore.
You don't care, yeah.
And you don't care because you're naked. And it's not important like you thought. It's just what it is. And I would say that's the same. Bernie mentioned that when you let down your other clothes that you're holding, your other personality, this other garbage covering you, it'll be the same thing. You'll feel uncomfortable and you go, aren't the winds nice? And doesn't Bernie have funny things? Doesn't I have funny things? Doesn't everyone who's commenting here have funny things? And doesn't everyone also have loving things to share? And then, you can get to the real...
Look at that man's thing. How does that work? Sorry.
and doesn't it make you want to work out a little more if you're standing naked too? No hiding behind,
exactly.
Yeah.
I know, right?
No hiding behind the clothes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, no hiding, right? It's the bare, it's out of body experience. You can't hide from yourself in your purest state.
It's true. It's true.
Exactly.
So whenever you're hiding,
where you are.
Yeah, and whenever you're naked, that's what you got, and figure it out from there. And our course is all about that. As Bernie said, freedom's calling you to life's lost purpose, giving away the secret. You are life's lost purpose. And what's it calling you? It's calling you to your life, and whatever that is up to you. No one can tell you, but you need to figure it out, I would say, so that you can be whatever you would love and however you would love, and then you get to meet all kinds of new friends, like I'm getting to do here. So it's a good effort, I would say.
Pardon my spelling mistake, but do go subscribe to Lorenzo's channel. The new awesome work out there, and of course Campbell's Autodidactic.
Indeed, and you'll find the links below, guys.
Thanks, Bernie. I appreciate it.
For our call.
Thank you. So I'm going to let you guys finish up. Thanks for letting me on again, and much love.
Cheers, Bernie.
And Lorenzo, we will be in touch, and you and me will definitely be doing a one-on-one here very soon.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, Bernie. Yeah, let's figure something out. That would be great. You've got lots of good explorations you've done, so let's put some of them, to the real world test. I would love to see how people, I asked you that one question, what would you do with that? And you gave me the best answer, whatever you want. So, exploring that could be a lot of fun.
100%, brothers. Much love, and we'll see you around, Campbell.
Thanks,
and Lorenzo, keep doing the awesome work you guys are doing.
Thank you. All right, well, there you go, right? The two Canadians are going to get together and have a talk about what it's all about.
It's all about, yeah.
It's
and
a
we
Canadian
had to
joke. How can you talk about Canadians without saying a boot?
A boot and A. An A. Yeah. We're going to do it, A. All of us.
Yeah. They're going to get together, eh?
We're going to get together, eh? See what it's all about. I'm from Toronto, eh? We'll see what it's about. Yeah. And and we had to travel to different parts of the world and meet through Campbell, interestingly enough, in Australia, Bernie, who met Campbell, and me who met Campbell. And so you never know, there's the Coyote Trail, as the Mexicans used to call it. It's never direct, but it always gets you where you want to go. It seems longer, but it's actually shorter. What do they say? The easy path is the hard path, and the hard path is the easy path when it's all said and done. So, really what it comes down to is understanding you.
Yeah. Attracting things much, much easier than trying to move around physical bits. Like Lorenzo said, Lorenzo and Bernie started off in Canada, Lorenzo in Japan, and then they had to go through Australia to hook up with each other. So this is how it all works. It's intention. It's not a physical world. We get what we expect to get, really. So if you'd like to know more, you'll find links below. We do have a course. And we also have a new Patreon page where we're putting up exclusive videos, at least one a week. We're going to be doing monthly Zooms, and we've got articles going up. There's also free stuff, there if you want to go and check it out. There is stuff you can see there and check it out. And if you want more, you can join up and get a bit more personal contact with us. You'll also be able to, ask us questions and all that kind of stuff as well. And you'll find the links for those below.
Yeah, freedom.
So 200 of you watching us. Woo. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Freedom's calling you. Our Patreon page is called New Tartarian Times. And I'm doing one-on-one Warrior Phantom Love work. I know In Love Unlimited. It's all about the same thing, though. What we're sharing here, what we're sharing on our Tartarian page, what Campbell is sharing on his page, in my opinion, if I may be so bold, what I'm sharing on my page, it's all about getting to know the truth of yourself so that you can move forward in happy abundance, happy love, and find out that your destiny really is up to you.
Indeed. So thank you all for spending some time with us this Friday. We hope you have a great day. Check out the links below, and we'll be back next Friday with another live, and during the week, no doubt, there'll be another upload. So make sure also you give us a like, a subscribe, and share this around so that we can get this message out to as many people as we want.
Yeah, I love you all very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting.
Yep. And we'll talk to you all on the next upload.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
I find myself when I face my death. People woke up and there ain't no sorrow. Ain't no more gonna tell you that. Only reason I don't wanna give it up. Came down from the heavens above and told all the people come dance and said now. Got this trust in a life to make a difference. What the fuck you gonna do? Stand up and know your part too hard. Open up and a piece of come